Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Having just posted something about pinball, I thought I would then follow that up with kind of another pinball game of a completely different style. On the Game Boy, I actually wanted to try out Pokemon Pinball. Now, this is for the Game Boy Color, and I remember hearing about this when the 3DS eShop was kind of in full swing. There were quite a few Game Boy titles on there. And somebody had said, man, I really hope one day they post Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color because it's awesome, it's really in-depth, it's a very surprisingly deep pinball game. So I figured let's try it out. Now, the pinball table or game has a little slot there for a battery to go into because it actually uses a little tiny rumble pack. In fact, I think, can you make it out? Does it say... Where is it? Just about make it out there. Anyway, it does say rumble on that little pack. So let's stick in a battery. And unfortunately, I don't have the lid for it or the little battery cover, but I think it'll stay in there. Let's try out Pokemon Pinball. Alright, Pokemon Pinball. What's kind of neat about this, and I think why people say it has a bit of depth, you actually have a Pokedex in the middle here, where you can actually collect different pocket monsters. I think, does it show all the different ones that I've got there? Yeah, there's one I haven't got yet, but I got Ivysaur, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and it's a pretty big list. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I don't know if it's got the full 150 that Pokemon is famous for, but there's number 45. Anyway, let's do a game. It's got two tables, red and blue. I don't really notice a huge difference between them. I mean, yeah, you can see in the screen there, this blue one's got kind of a weird, almost TIE Fighter shape in the center there. So they do have different tracks, but I don't really find them all that different from each other. Let's give red a try. And I believe you push down on the D-pad. Yes. Uses the A button and the left D-pad direction to do the flippers. Oh, darn it. And you can see Pikachu on the left there, well, for a second. He actually is part of the kind of ball save move. Let me just see, because you can see he's actually covering one of the, yeah, he's moved over to the, yeah, he moves to the left and right there, you can see. And that actually prevents the ball from draining. Ooh, can I get a, ooh, did well there. Come on. Oh. I'm not noticing any rumble. I wonder if I got to re-enable that in the options or something. I know that's a new battery. Alright, let's do it again. It's a nice idea to have the Pokeball being the pinball. Oh, darn it, are you kidding me? Oh, ball saved, good. Oh, jeez. I'm doing terrible here. Alright, let's get somewhere here. Nice music. Nice fluid animation, too. Only problem is I do find I'm too busy paying attention to the ball. Ooh, now I'm feeling the rumble. Okay, it is working. Not very strong, but it is there. And yeah, the thing that is kind of nice. Ooh, hang on. Oh, that's cool. Actually closed off. That's pretty neat. Okay, come on. Let's go up into there. No. Now, I've played a few pinball games on the Game Boy, especially Game Boy Advance. Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing here? Yes, if we get the right pickups, we actually reveal that pocket monster. You can see I've already unlocked like a couple of the pieces of the puzzle. If I do it successfully... Oh, I've almost got him. There we go. Now I just need to actually capture him. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. No, no. There we go. Caught him. Very cool. And what did we catch? Not sure what we caught there, but that's okay. And I lost the ball already. Can you believe it? Game over. Alright. Now I just want to go and check the options here to see if maybe that rumble has like a higher or lower... No, it's just on or off. Oh, it actually has a little test mode. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very weak. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's because of the age of this cartridge, or maybe that... I know that battery's fairly fresh, though. Maybe it needs the battery pack? Who knows? Alright, we'll do one more. This time we'll do the blue table, just to compare. As I was going to say earlier, though, I have played a lot of these pinball tables, or pinball games that came out on Game Boy Advance, for example. Interesting, I'm actually noticing that Rumble has more strength in this version, on this table. Yeah, like I've played Pac-Man Pinball for the Game Boy Advance. I've also played Mario. I think there's one where he comes out as like a ball shape, and that was pretty good. Oh, get it. But I do find they're all kind of the same. Now, I guess in this era of limited capability with the hardware, you've got one or two screens, and I guess you've got only so much you can do with the playfield. But I do find they're a bit, I don't know, they're just a little bit weak for what you're doing. Oh wow, that's really got a nice rumble now. Oh, get it! Oh, bugger. Oh, I think I made it mad. But yeah, you know, compared to... Oh, there we go, I can capture. Compared to, what was the one on the Amiga? Like Fantasy Pinball or whatever. That one had like 4 or 5 very, very different tables from each other. So, okay, a Game Boy Color is probably not as powerful as an Amiga, but let's get some variety in the tables, you guys. Jeez. I do like the depth of trying to capture all the different monsters in that and having the Pokedex build up, but I don't really... I don't know, it's kind of like once you've played one table, you've kind of played them both. And confession time. Oh no, you've ruined my confession time. Well, I'll say it anyway. This is actually the main pinball Pokemon game I've ever played. Like, I don't play the standard Pokemon games. I know they have their fans. There's a lot of people who are, like, very strictly, I absolutely love Pokemon and I want to get the latest and greatest and all that kind of stuff. I've never played any of them. So I feel like, am I missing out on something? Who in the audience is, like, a big Pokemon fan? What would you recommend? I mean, oh god, I've lost already. Oh, ball save. If somebody was to start with absolutely no knowledge of Pokemon and just wants to know what's the beef, what's the big deal, what would they start with? Red and blue, maybe? I've heard conflicting things. There's one level I've been kind of curious about in the early Pokemon games. That one with the town, what is it? Purple Town, I think, where kids were reportedly getting sick from it. That kind of intrigues me, but I think it's a bit lengthy to get into that, and I thought, for just for the sake of trying to find out if this gaming urban legend is true. I don't really want to play that much. So, however, if somebody can recommend to me, you know, what's a good Pokemon game to play? Keep calling it pinball. All right, let's play my last ball. It is quite a cute little pinball game, and sure, back then this would have been quite an impressive thing, I think. Having the monsters to collect, and you go to different worlds and stuff, I think that does actually lend quite a bunch of interesting depth to these games. You're not just playing pinball like the Pac-Man pinball game on GBA, but yeah, it's all right. Like it's not anything to write home about. All right, game over. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. That is Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color, being played on a GBA with a backlit screen. Didn't even make the listing. That's fine. All right, well, there you go. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.